Hello and good morning, guys, and welcome back to Costa Azzurra yet again. The fourth installment of this series of me basically showing you how I did this map, which is very well performing on the workshop right now. It's kind of... I knew this map was good, but I had no idea it was going to be such a hit. It might even end up on like the first page all-time popular maps, which is just mind-blowing. Thanks everybody for giving me the feedback and I guess upvoting it and all the appreciation it's got. I really makes me happy. And what makes me more happy than anything is seeing you guys build on this map and like sharing your screenshots of it. So if you end up building anything on this map yourselves, like share everything and share it everywhere and tell me about it, because I just love to see that, what kind of stuff you guys come up with on this map. So okay, so today hopefully, I won't swear this time that it will be the last episode, because I've tried that and failed in the past, but hopefully this is going to be the last episode, because I want to show you like just a few details that I think that deserve extra attention, and those details are this style of castle, which like at a quick glance looks like a very vanilla style typical castle, but there's some more details to it that I think people will appreciate to see. Yes, let's go. And these style of wave breaks or breakwaters or seawalls, which just make the harbor look so much better. Oh, bit of glitching there. And probably we'll also look a little bit about on these sort of coastal defenses or coastal forts, but more like where you place them. I don't really want to sort of tell you this is how you build one, because I don't really know. I just experiment and try stuff. But okay, and let's get started with it. I think we should get the breakwaters out of the way first, because I think I can show that the quickest. So let's get started. I've found a location for them where I want like another harbor here on this map. I'm thinking this at some point might be an airport, but in real life this location is a harbor, so I'm wondering if we can't do like a bit of a sort of breakwater around here, so it's a bit more protected. And let's do that basically. What I would do here is what I did on the other part was I used the terrain tool to just drag out in its simplest form like a straight like a pier or something like that. You can have it on just one side. Often that's probably just enough. But I also kind of want to do it from the other side, just a little bit. It doesn't have to go as far into the thing. And we'll do something like that. We'll remove the sand as well, which is painted on the bottom of the sea right now, because it will make it melt in with the rocks a little bit better, I think. Depending on what theme you use, you can use like Surface Painter to paint these in a particular color as well, or such. So now I'm gonna do the smoothing here. I'm gonna try to smooth this a little bit just to make it look a little bit better, but without making it drop below the water level, the ridge of this breakwater. Would have been a little bit easier if we didn't have such a deep sea floor here, but deep sea floor is good for water flow. It just made this map work a lot. So it makes the map a lot more playable, honestly. Even if it limits the fish, I suppose. Okay, now we have like honestly, like, if you just want to use the terrain tool, like, this is pretty cool. This is enough. You don't need that much more stuff here, but the trick I like to use is, now I would go in and find these rocks here. Where are they? Where are they? There are multiple, like, ways you can detail these, but I think it's here, right? Yeah, here. But I'm using the rock area 1. That's my absolute favorite for this, and I will sort of show you how I do it. I'll place like 1 down. I'm right-clicking, so it rotates. I'm placing like another 1 down. Right-clicking. Placing a few down this way. Trying to mix up the rotations a bit, so that they're not too repetitive. Something like that. And now I'm going to use Move It to select buildings here. These are buildings. And I'm going to place them a little bit closer to the water, and I'm going to copy. I'm going to right click, and that rotates the whole thing. I'm going to copy again. I'm going to paste it 1 more time. Maybe just rotate it a slight bit. And do the same over here. Oh, undo that. And fill in the gaps here. So just now that looks, honestly, I think that looks remarkably good. Better than I would have expected, even after doing this like so many times myself. I didn't expect it to look this good. So you might need to adjust the height a bit of these. Okay, let's reset the water. Because we did some terrain editing here with the game paused. Let's press it a few times and see if it works. It should. We can also lower the sea level and lower it back up, but I want it to stay at the same level, so I'll just press it a few times. Okay, so that looks pretty neat. It's a very small breakwater. It looks good. I was hoping that I would have messed up here a bit more, because then I could show there's another sort of thing we need to think about here. If we place one of these guys too close to the water, it will actually cause the water to glitch out and do some annoying stuff. Maybe I'll try my best to fail here for you guys, so that I can show you what I was supposed to show. What if we do like that? If we do this, because these aren't surface, these aren't water, these clip the water. In certain positions, they would clip the water, and that can be a bit annoying sometimes. I mean, most of the times. But the way I've solved it here is basically I'm trying to have all of them above the water line, or like, so that we let the terrain do the water height or the water level adjustment. So basically what we would do is we would go in and just move the problem ones, would find which individual rock is causing the problems, and we'd just touch it a bit. Can be a bit tedious. It also doesn't look that bad, even if it does happen. Okay, hopefully we'll see the issue here. I'll try to force it so it happens here, and then we can maybe fix it here instead. I sense this is gonna, we might see it here. I sense. Okay, yeah, here we can see it a little bit, right? Here we can see a little bit of water acting weird. To fix that, I would just try to find the one building that causes that and moving it. Probably wasn't that one. I'm moving this guy up. No, it wasn't that one either. Is it this one? This one even. It's probably this one. It has to do with the resolution of the water and the terrain in general. So if we try to align these rocks with the terrain, we should be fine. Okay, maybe it's this one. Yes, there. It sort of fixed itself. So now I was able to show that that little fix as well, and it still looks good. You just need to put some a little bit of manual effort into it. And now we have a nice seawall here, or breakwater. Another thing we could do, if we remove the collision here so we don't remove them accidentally, we could do a key on the inside. We could do a key to make it like a more organized key, a more defined key where boats could actually dock. I think that's a neat touch also. You can do it on one side here, we don't have to do it on all. But yeah, that's an option. On to the castle. Exciting. The castle is pretty cool because there's a lot of these vanilla stuff that is in the game, and you're supposed to put them in the map editor. Oops. But they look kind of ugly by default. It's hard to make something that looks good, but I'm gonna show some tricks here that I use to make this castle. In particular, the taller walls and this gatehouse here. So first things first, we should actually do a bit of a thing here, because I've cheated and removed some of these trees with Bob. I just realized this building here, the main castle ruins thing, comes with a few trees. So okay, let's find a good location for a castle. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe we just do it on the other ridge, the other side here. Let's just place another one of these castles here, and like make a small like dueling castle or something like that. How I would do now is I would like just have fun with the. I could even start with the walls and have some fun with the walls. I could also decide where the outer sort of castle, as the outer castle towers would be. I think we'll do that first. Let's clear a bit of the trees so we have some room to work with here. This isn't going to be as big of a castle as well, because if we do it as big, it's gonna take a longer time. That previous castle almost took me a whole night to make, but I had so much fun, so it was worth it. You know what? Let's make a different type of castle up here and make it ruined. And let's have one like that. And let's have one here also. Okay, yeah, sure. I think this works out. How I would do it now is I would select this wall, and I would try to do it with individual segments. I wouldn't connect these as much, because that means we can make them sort of work better with the castle towers. And I'd drag it out something like that, maybe. Let's drag out the sort of the first segments. I was never a fan of how this wall looked, because it has this very rounded top. It's a bit awkward for a ruin, but also for a sort of a restored or an actual intact castle wall. But we have a very neat solution that I will show you in just a few seconds, hopefully. So I'm going around here and just aligning it with move it. Doesn't have to be perfect. And also I'm doing some terrain differences here, or height differences, because I think that makes castles more alive as well, like having this more wavy shape. Wavy, yeah, of course, wavy shapes. And let's do something like so. Let's do something like so. Yeah. So I think that's pretty good for outer walls. Now I'm going to do the big brain trick here, which is I'm gonna select all these walls here, and I'm gonna hold down Alt while pressing the duplicate in place, because that duplicates these walls in place. And now I'm gonna press page up with move it, and tada, we have a higher wall. Because this lower wall already fixes the terrains, it won't mess up it. I mean, it will mess up the terrain a little bit, but it's very minor. I think like this is not something I would worry about. And you could fix that with other paths or trenches or something like that. So that's fine. I mean, I think it's fine. Let me know what you think. And I would now go into the upgrade tool and try to upgrade only the top part. Oh, and see, here it upgraded the bottom part as well. We just upgrade it back. Top part upgraded. And you know what? Let's make us even. Oof. Yeah, it can be a bit wonky sometimes, but you know what? That's fine. So now we have a much taller and even more realistic wall, I would say. So now I want to make the gatehouse, or show how I made the gatehouse. For this, we will just need to place a small little road. A small little road. And find the correct pillars. Because we're going to use a pillar here. We're using find it to find this, but if you don't have find it, you can still get it by using move it, because this is the... What we're going to use here is the train, one-way track, bridge, or elevated pillar. So we could do it this way as well. Copying this guy. And placing it somewhere around here. We can delete this now, I don't need it anymore. Perfect. And now I'm gonna place this sort of in a height that seems like it's good, something like that. I'm gonna move these guys closer. There we have a bit of a gatehouse, and if we don't really like how there's an iron sort of step there, we can copy one of these walls. I'm gonna rotate align it with this guy. I'm gonna height align it with something. I'm just gonna use the move it tools up and down, minus key, and basically do something like so. This will of course cause some issues with the terrain, but we can fix that. Have no fear. Have no fear. We will fix that rather. And the way I intend to fix that is by this road here should like extend out. I mean it's a road that's accessing the castle, so we should probably have it go. I'm not connecting it though, because I don't want cars to drive in here. We could just connect it, have cars drive through, that's fine. But I want to do like a small moat eventually, so we'll have it go down this way. Like, have it go down this valley and do some switchbacks. And do something like that. This road isn't really important for this tutorial, so the next step I would do here is I would probably create a small piece of trench or moat, which is another thing you can find in the map editor by default here. like transistors and nodes and all the networks here, they are useful because they fix the terrain. They're basically used as terraforming networks here. So that's what's going on, and now I suppose we could connect this via bridge, have it be a road bridge going through if we wanted cars to drive in there. On the other castle I did, I had a pedestrian path because I think it looked better. It's a bit smaller. The gatehouse was a bit smaller on that one as well, so. But that's something you can do. If we want another gatehouse, we can easily just copy this building and this here network. It lets us. And place it over here maybe. And then we can copy this segment of wall here and make it a bit bigger and lower it down to this level, and we can use the alt duplicate trick again. The alt click duplicate and raise, and alt click duplicate to create like any sort of type of wall we want. Really, it's really useful. Here we can do on the other side as well. We can do it just the same way. Go down. We do get some sea fighting in this case because we're copying these things, or actually not sea fighting. It's more like X and Y fighting, I suppose. But the way I usually solve that is either moving things up or down, or like to the left or right. This is the tiniest bit. So I'm just going to select here, holding down Control and moving it. Like the individual segments, like just the tiniest amount. Since this is a castle wall, like it's, you know, it's old, it's worn. There's nothing about it that's supposed to be very perfectly shaped as well. Here we have some holes looking through the wall. That's pretty cool. So there's obviously like more. We could obviously detail this up a lot more, but that is pretty neat. That's my best castle ideas. And when you spend like a few more hours on it, like you can get something looking like this. That's a lot more fine-tuned, I would say, with the geography and with the map in general. Now we have two dueling castles. That's kind of funny, actually. And in my opinion, this is how you use the map editor castles. Of course, like you can always do it however you want. There's so many more ways you can do this, and play the game however you want. It's like it's totally fine. I'm just trying to show you the way I like to play it, and maybe hopefully like I can inspire you to get your own like ideas and sort of develop your own way of playing the game. Like, but I'm not going to try and sit here and say this is how you're supposed to do it, even if it sounds like that sometimes. So please don't get me wrong. So I did say we might talk about the forts a bit as well, and for the forts I'm using, I mean the default, the other map editor things. We have the bunkers, we have the bunker ruins, it's called, and trenches. I've just placed them together like this, so it looks like it's a sort of World War era coastal fort. It's probably very unrealistic if you're very into this kind of stuff, or like interested in history and military history. But I don't know. I felt like these small complexes are pretty decent. I got some help. I tried to put them on the top of the mountains before, but I had some help from my friends who told me to no, don't do that. Regarding the bay, I've spread them out so. They're spread out pretty far between each other, so they have like overlapping fields of fire, and they're not like all located in one place. Another thing I've tried to do is like these pillboxes that are just sort of protecting the beaches. And I mean, this is like based on like Saving Private Ryan and like movies like that, and like I think it's a neat thing, but it's like very optional touches. Honestly, you don't really need it that often. But when they give me some tool like this in the editor, I very often like to use it. So that's me. Same with you know, the meme factory and I guess the graveyard. What else? Oh, there is a bit of a detail on this map, what we haven't really talked about a lot. It's this bridge. This bridge has had people go a bit crazy. It's a very cool bridge, don't get me wrong, but I do a lot of crazy bridges. I do a lot of crazy bridges, and this one is pretty vanilla, like no pun intended. I actually have a separate video tutorial, so I will link that for how to make this bridge. It's basically the exact same thing, and it goes into all the details that I really, frankly, don't have the time for in this video. We've already run over what I was expecting to do, but those bridges, I want to make more bridge tutorials as well, because that's like my favorite thing in this game. Okay. I think that's it. Guys, I think that's it. We did some breakwaters, we did castles. That's 25 minutes of my life. And yours life as well, I'm sorry. If you like this video, like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified whenever I do the next video, which probably won't be on this map series. I think we're done with the map series. It might be, very, very might be. I'm not sure if I'm gonna start building on this map just yet. With a new DLC being announced, like, I might want to try and wait for that to be released before I start building on this map, but with that said, yeah, thanks for watching. This has been Costa Azzurra. See you guys.